Roger Federer has watched the WTA for 20 years. He has seen wildcards go to rookies, legends, and home favorites. But when the tour made its latest move for Eala, the 20-time Grand Slam champion's reaction spoke volumes. The Swiss legend was prepping for his own match at the Foro Italico when the news finally broke. The WTA announced the Italian Open wildcards. 8 local players made the list as expected, but one name was missing. Eala did not get one. She did not need one. She earned her spot through the rankings. And that, more than any free pass, had Federer shaking his head in total disbelief. Not because of the snub, but because of how far this 20-year-old Filipina has come. Rome, Italy, April 2026. A wildcard announcement that never happened because Eala had already made it on her own. Let me set the scene. The Italian Open officials gathered at the media center to reveal their special entries for the 2026 tournament. The list was as predictable as ever in Rome. Every single women's wildcard went straight to an Italian player. Nuria Brancaccio, Lucia Bronzetti, Taira Caterina Grant, Lisa Pigato, and Jennifer Ruggeri. Lucrezia, Stefanini, and Martina Trevisan. The tournament's focus on homegrown talent was crystal clear to everyone. No surprises, no drama. But in the following days, the tennis world realized something much more significant. Eala's name was not on that list. Not because she was ignored, but because she did not need a handout. The 20-year-old Filipina entered the Italian Open with a world ranking of 42, a spot she earned through sheer grit. She earned her place. She didn't ask for favors or rely on the kindness of organizers. She fought her way to the top. And that, more than any handout, is exactly what left Roger Federer shaking his head in absolute disbelief. The 20-time Grand Slam champion was in the players' lounge when the news started circling through the tennis community. Eala made the Italian Open without a wildcard. She earned her spot, and Roger Federer could not stop smiling. Let me give you the Swiss legend's take on this, because Federer knew better than anyone that Eala's success was about zero shortcuts. It was about the grind, about rising, and proving the Eala effect is built on pure talent, not special treatment. Federer has seen wildcards handed out for decades. He has watched young juniors get direct entry into events they never earned. He has watched aging legends receive that same preferential treatment. He has seen local favorites get a massive boost. But Eala decided to do things a different way. She entered the Italian Open ranked 42. By the time she beat Magdalena Frech in round 1, she had climbed to 39 in the live rankings list. She reached a career high of 29 just weeks ago. She proved with every single win that she truly belonged here. That is how it should be, Federer told his team. Earn your spot. Do not ask for it or wait for it. Just earn it. The words were simple, but the message was incredibly deep. Roger Federer gets asked about rising stars all the time, but when a reporter mentioned Eala's situation, the champion took a pause. In that silence, the tennis world heard something huge. Let's look at that press conference, because what Federer did not say revealed everything. The legend had just finished his media duties when a journalist asked a question that seemed almost too obvious to answer. Roger, what do you think about Eala earning her spot here through her ranking instead of taking a wild card? Federer leaned back and looked at the ceiling. The room full of reporters went completely silent, waiting for his response. He started slowly. When I was coming up, wildcards were a literal lifeline for us. A way in when you lacked the ranking, a chance to show your talent when no one knew you. He paused again, but Alex did not need that lifeline. She earned her own way. That is different. That is special. The media scribbled every word. She is not asking for handouts or waiting for an opportunity. She is taking it. And that, he said, leaning forward, is exactly what separates the good from the greats. The champion has watched generations of stars. He has seen wildcards make some players and expose others as total pretenders. But looking at Eala, he did not see a player needing a favor. He saw someone who deserved to be there. Let's look deeper into Federer's view, because what he understood about Eala's ranking says a lot about the current state of tennis. Federer has been around long enough to know the difference between social media hype and real substance. He has seen kids rise too fast on marketing alone, only to fail under pressure. But he has also seen the grinders who climb the hard way, building their ranking point by point, proving their worth on the actual court instead of just in the press room. Eala is a grinder. When Federer heard she made the Italian Open through her 42 ranking, at the very start of the tournament, he did not just nod in quiet approval. Reports say he smiled. "That is how you do it," he told his team. "That is how you earn respect." Simple words, but a deep message. The Italian Open handed out 8 wildcards to local players. Most crashed out in round 1. But Eala earned her spot through merit, reaching the 3rd round and nearly toppling the world number 2. Roger Federer took notice, as did the world. Let us look at the contrast he found so telling. The gap between wildcards and qualifiers tells a massive story about the state of women's tennis today. The Italian Open wildcards were predictable. Every single women's invite went to an Italian. Nuria Brancaccio, Lucia Bronzetti, Taira Caterina Grant, Lisa Pigato, Jennifer Ruggeri, and Lucrezia Stefanini. Martina Trevisan also got in. Most failed to advance. They were gone before they started. Grant, a 17-year-old wildcard, retired halfway through her match against Australia's Talia Gibson. Still competing on the ITF junior circuit, she was not ready for the physical grind of the WTA. Bronzetti fell to world number 2 Elena Rybakina in straight sets, managing only 3 games in a 6-1, 6-2 loss. Stefanini also lost to former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in her opening match. Trevisan, once number 18 before injuries hit, was also sent packing in the first round. These wildcards, handed out as hometown favors, gave the tournament almost zero return on investment. Meanwhile, Eala earned her way to number 42 and beat Magdalena Frech in a rain-soaked battle. She saved 9 of 10 break points and clawed back from a 3-1 deficit to secure her first big win at the Foro Italico. Then, she swept 31 seed Wang Xinyu in straight sets, avenging that heartbreaking loss in Auckland. She climbed from 42 to 38 in the live rankings. She pushed world number 2 Elena Rybakina for over 90 minutes, breaking the Kazakh serve and forcing her to fight for a 6-4, 6-3 win. She did it all without a handout, without a favor, and without a single wildcard. Roger Federer, who knows how wildcards can make stars or break pretenders, saw the power in that contrast. "That is how you earn respect," he said, "not by asking, but by proving it." At 38, Eala does not need favors. She has earned the right to face the best in the world on her own terms. Let us walk through what this ranking milestone actually means for her career, because this is not just a number, it is a passport. Eala sat at 42. She had hit a career high of 29 recently after a deep run at Indian Wells. That made her the highest-ranked Filipino in history, giving her direct entry into the biggest tennis tournaments on earth. After her run in Rome, Eala climbed up to number 38 in the world rankings. She grabbed 55 points by beating Frech and Wang. Her year-end rank is now projected to hit 29 again, but numbers are only half the story. At 38, Eala no longer relies on the luck of wildcards. She no longer needs tournament directors to hand out favors. At 38, Eala has proven she belongs. She has earned the right to face the best on her own terms. This ranking milestone is more than just a number for her career. It is a passport to the big stage. Before the Italian Open, her rank was 42. She hit a career high of 29 just weeks earlier after a massive run at Indian Wells. That made her the best Filipino player in history, granting her direct entry into the world's most elite tournaments. After her performance in Rome, Eala climbed to number 38 in the live rankings. Those wins over Frech and Wang earned her 55 points. She is projected to finish the year at 29, her career high. But the math is only one piece. At 38, Eala does not need to hope for a wild card anymore. She no longer needs directors to do her favors. She has earned her place through pure hard work. She won her spot through victories and the steady grind for points that no official can take away from her. Now, she can walk directly into every WTA 1000 event and every single Grand Slam. The French Open will not seed her, as only the top 32 get that honor, but entering the main draw by rank is true freedom. This is the ultimate reward for years of sacrifice and quiet determination. She went from being a 13-year-old scholarship student at the Nadal Academy to a major global name. Federer, who climbed the hard way, understood the weight of this moment. Once you have the ranking, nobody can take it from you, he said. You do not have to ask for anything anymore. You just show up and play. That is where Eala is now. Not asking for favors, just competing. Roger Federer has seen hundreds of players come and go. Some rose too fast on marketing hype and special treatment, only to crumble when the pressure became too heavy. He has watched the grinders earn every single point and every opportunity. Eala clearly belongs to that second group of fighters. Nobody asked the Swiss legend to weigh in on Eala climbing the ranks. No one interviewed him about the wildcard controversy, but his camp noticed. Word spread through the Foro Italico like wildfire. Federer was impressed, not by a title or a top 10 upset, but by something much deeper. It wasn't just about winning over Rome with her grit. It was about doing it the right way. She never asked for a handout. She didn't sit around waiting for an opportunity to find her. She earned her spot with pure results and ranking point success that simply cannot be gifted or easily faked. That is how you earn respect, Federer noted. Eala won him over not just with talent, but with pure grit and a refusal to take shortcuts. The Italian Open wrapped with Eala at number 38, taking home over €79,000. She won't be seated at the French Open, only the top 32 get that honor. But she is in the main draw purely on merit. Now, she gets the chance to prove she belongs. She pulled out of the Parma Ladies Open to dial in for Roland Garros. You won't find her name in Strasbourg or Rabat either. She is locked in. She is resting, recovering, and peaking at just the right time for the biggest tournament of the clay season. Philippine flags will fly high in Paris as the Laban Eala chants echo through the grounds of Roland Garros. And Eala, having earned her spot by the numbers, will walk onto that court knowing she belongs there. The big question is simpler than it looks. When Eala steps onto that red clay at Roland Garros, will the tennis world remember she earned her way here, or will they just watch her prove she deserves it? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe to Court Legacy for more stories that go way beyond the final score. Roger Federer wasn't stunned by a wildcard announcement. He was shocked to realize Eala didn't even need one. The 20-year-old Filipina entered the Italian Open at number 42, then surged to number 38 after massive victories over Magdalena French and 31st seed Wang Xinyu. Meanwhile, the 8 tournament wildcards given to local Italian players mostly crashed out in the very first round. Federer was reportedly floored that Eala did it the hard way. That is how you earn respect, he said. Not by asking, but by proving it. Her ranking of 38 grants her direct entry into every major tournament and Grand Slam. She won't be seated at the French Open, though. But she hits the main draw on her own merit, a massive jump from number 143 in 2024 to 38 today. She officially pulled out of the Parma Ladies Open to focus all her energy on Roland Garros.